matter what you're going through
or what you have been through,
thank God is fabulous. I'm Welda Paley. And I'm Fasia Hilton.
welcome.
Thank God is fabulous. Male nurses.
Patient comfort, values, and beliefs.
Thank God is fabulous.
What is cancer? What is your perception of cancer?
Well, today our guest will be sharing her story on living with cancer.
Thank God is fabulous. Friendship. What is a true friend? He's my friend. She's my friend. Can a male and a female be true friends?
What are the benefits of friendship? Are there true friends with benefits or not? How do you know somebody is a friend? What are the criteria? What are the requirements to have a friend?
Thank God is fabulous. Well, today we are going to be talking about career choices.
Do you make career choices based on your habits or things you love or what's trending or what would be your livelihood?
Is it going to be vocational or is it going to be higher education? What's your choice?
Good evening. Good evening. Thank God it is fabulous. You muted.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Okay.
All right. All right. It doesn't matter what you're going through.
Or what you have been through.
Thank
Thank
God.
God it is fabulous.
Welcome to another episode of Thank God It Is Fabulous. Today is February 7th. Sending birthday shout outs to all our February people. And happy birthday. Today's your main day. Have a happy birthday.
Yes.
So, today we are talking sex surrogate. I don't know if you heard about it.
Never
I don't
heard of
know
it.
if you know about it. But today we're going to talk about it. So get ready to join the conversation. Get ready to be blown away because this is a whole different business and it's real business. Okay. So who is a sex surrogate? How much do they get paid to do this job?
Lots of money.
Lots of money. Is it a legal job? Yes, it is. It is a legal job that you get paid to do. So, Fasila, if you want to tell us what is or who is a sex surrogate, that would be nice.
Well, let's see here.
I was doing my research.
Hmm.
When you told me we were gonna do this, I'm like, I've never heard of this.
I know.
So, a sex surrogate, or another term is a surrogate partner therapist. Okay, is a type of therapist who provides real world therapeutic interventions for a person or a couple. They work closely with sex therapists to address specific needs of the person or of the couple to help with sexual, emotional, and confidence based issues or concerns.
Yep. Yep.
So I mean this this topic just blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, this was my first time hearing that it is a
There's even such a
legal,
thing.
it's a legal profession.
Yep.
And as I was doing my research as well, one of the ladies that I listened to, she said she went into training for 3 weeks. So I don't know if it is like a degree you can get.
No, I think it's a certification.
Okay, so it is a certification. But this is a fine line to me. It is a fine line, and I was a bit biased or stereotypical. But then there was a video that I listened to, and the therapist said that her client was a disabled client who had never had that intimacy with the opposite sex.
Okay.
And his mother had this arranged for the therapist to come in so that her son could have this experience. And so it made me to think a little differently about it, because
I
I'm
know.
totally, against. I'm like, this is muddy waters, and this is just, opening a Pandora box in your relationship. Because I personally don't believe in a third party in a relationship. That's just me. Call me old school, but that's just me. I'm not judging anybody, to each his own. But when I heard this, my mind was like, But then when I listened to her and helping this able client, he had his one of his disability was that he had this abnormal body jerk. So they had to put him in long sleeves. He didn't have legs. They had
Okay.
to put him in long sleeves. They had to put gloves on his hands, because he would hurt himself from his body ticks and stuff. And then she came in and she was taken aback because she didn't know the extent of his disability. She didn't ask. But I mean, she did her job, but it got me to thinking, wow,
I know, really. Wow.
yes.
So think about it. When people having sexual intercourse, depending on the level of enjoyment they experience, the body do some things that they themselves not even aware of due to the pleasure. Can you imagine somebody already got sick
Yeah.
because of disease process? When they go into that second layer of enjoyment and pleasure, what can happen? That'd be a whole different discovery for another year.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do I'm just wondering aloud, do they become calmer or do it exaggerate the tick?
Yeah, that's a question.
Hmm.
you know and then the other lady that I was listening to, that she went to the training for 3 weeks, and then the therapist that she met there, because she said she was nervous, and then the therapist that she met there, you know the lady that was doing the teaching was not available at the time when she got there, was not present. But then I think her assistant was there, and she started talking with him and telling him, how she's nervous about this, but she wants to do the training. She wants to help people, and she kind of formed a bond with this guy. So then, who is the assistant to the trainer? When he went back and told her, hey, your trainee is here. She's nervous and what have you, but she says she feels comfortable with me. So he set her, the trainer set her up with this guy.
With it,
Yes, because they in the training you have to be physical.
Oh shoot, that training is serious.
Yes. So and then she got to the point where she was really into this guy and started to have strong feelings for this trainer that is training her.
Oh my goodness. Study class gone bad.
So I'm like, oh goodness, what is this? But I didn't finish the video. We had to come on.
What? Fasia, can you imagine that? Because
Yeah.
look, some places I personally believe is not for play. This is an area that God created for a particular purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the magnitude of what happens over there, I'm telling you, man, God really no understanding. We
Yeah.
take the little pictorial of it that we receive and we're running around with it. But it's deeper, it is wider. Look, the depth and understanding of sex is different. And we haven't even come to the mere understanding of it. We just know our tribe is for reproduction. And so you're supposed to do this, and then things will happen, and then you get pregnant, and then there will be a baby. That's the bottom line. But what happens in it, the level it can go to, where it can take you mentally, where it can take you physically, a lot of things about it, some people have no idea. And you can't control another person's feelings.
No, you cannot.
And this is intimacy. I don't care what word you choose for it. I don't care what way you want to look at it, for what you're using it for. It's intimacy. You going in a place and doing things in an area that you yourself don't understand. But the little small knowledge you have of it, you want to enjoy and explore. And sometimes in your exploration, you can be wow. Because you have no clue
Mm-hmm.
what it is. The woman go to school if they come in for the assignment, or she come in pass the assignment because I ain't know where she at right now. You went there to go learn in the class. Now somebody start touching you places in P nobody touched you before. Now you not get all messed up in the classroom. What you doing your final exam?
Yeah.
Wow. Mm, 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 mm. So they're supposed to provide a safe and controlled environment for client to explore intimacy, touch, and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, this is a place of the human body that takes us to another realm,
Mm-hmm.
a place of happiness, a place of excitement. If you just understand the hormones that can be released during this encounter, you know it's not a place to joke with.
No.
You can't just go there because you want to go there. The spiritual ties that is involved with it. You know
So
you
true.
can't just
It's
go
deeper
there.
than yes.
It's too deep and too wide for our little mind to comprehend. But that's what I said. The little we know of it, we run around with it like, oh, but you don't know nothing about it. Some people who can even tell you they're the therapist, some places there, they go to the client and the client touch, the therapist get messed up.
True.
Because look, touch is a very powerful sense. and adding communication to it is a different level. So somebody's touching you, then they're talking to you. So mentally, they're messing up your mind, which is your higher decision-making body, and they're touching you sensitively in areas that you don't even know how you're going to feel if somebody touch you there. Not just, and the funny thing is, it's not even to the regular places that you know things supposed to happen. No. Some people don't even know what their points of excitements are on their own body, because nobody has touched it in a specific way.
So true.
And then somebody go and touch it. And probably they're not even your sexual organs. Maybe it's your toes that are far away from your head. And the person touch your toes in a way that takes you to another realm and give you orgasm that you've never had before. You messed up now.
Yeah.
You messed up now. So to pick up this job, it's a tough one.
And you have to have self-control.
Baby,
And that's where the water gets muddy.
yes.
That's where
you don't have self-control, but
that's a
somebody's
fine line.
taking you to a whole different level you never been at.
Yes.
Giving you pleasure you never thought existed. You're out of your earthly body. Somebody taking you there. And you're going to say, control? Baby, you lost control for the day you decided you were going to enter this program.
There you go.
Because you don't know the outcome. Everybody go to school, they have a program, or they do a certification for an outcome of a program. What is your outcome? You don't even know what's going to happen to you in this. And you thought you were supposed to be strong. You thought you knew yourself. And then you go to the class. And now you're supposed to be taught. And this is both ways. The teacher can get messed up. The student can get messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supposed to go to the class. Why we like to play with dangerous things? Why?
That is the question. Yes, that is.
You think God, who created this thing for that purpose, didn't know what he was doing? No, and then the amazing thing about the whole sex, it's not even the length of time. It's what is done within seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That can even mess you up.
Yes.
That's how deep it is.
It's deep physically and it is deep spiritually,
emotionally, spiritually.
Yes,
Look,
because there's soul ties that you're connecting. So that's why you have to be careful.
Very, very careful.
You have to be very careful who you allow into your space and your territory.
Can you imagine?
Because now you're connecting with their soul ties and then your soul ties, and you don't know what background they're coming from, and connecting it with yours, it can mess you up.
Big time. Big time. And the worst part about it doesn't affect one layer of you. It affects your whole being.
Yes.
It affects you emotionally, spiritually, physically. Why would you want to go play with that kind of stuff? Why? Then there are some legal and ethical considerations for this job. This is a controversial practice. Heck yes, it is. You're touching and doing things you got no business touching and doing. Not any country will accept this kind of stuff. Places where you know that when a man marries his wife, that's his wife.
Yes.
That's her husband. If you're in a culture where multiple marriage partners is acceptable, that's still your wife, that's still your husband. Whether your 3,000 wife is still your husband. Each wife is their husband. He got all the women, but it's just the one man.
Man. Mhm.
And then on the flip side, they got women who marry more than one man, but it's still that woman's husband. Then you said things ain't going the way you wanted to go, so now you go and bring in a sex
A third
surrogate
party. Mm.
to really not clarify nothing but mess it up for y'all, all of y'all, because you don't even know what's going to happen. And you
Because
know,
it's going to end up where one person is going to have more attraction to either the
to
therapist
somebody,
or
somebody.
to one of the couple. And that's where the problem begins. Because the video that you sent me, you know, with Judge Mathis, he was judging this case. The both couples agree
To
to
bring
go
this
and
out.
hire this therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and run with the story.
So the group both agreed to bring in a therapy because when they started a relationship, they have been having a lot of sex in the marriage. It was all good and everything was going fine. So they thought they were soulmates. Well, come to find out, after the wife got pregnant and had the child,
She
she
got into
lost,
postpartum
yeah, the
depression.
postpartum depression
Mm-hmm.
got a hold of her. So she lost the urge to have the feelings for intimacy. And the husband wanted to be intimate with his wife. He still wanted what he was getting from the beginning. So they decided, you know what? Let's get help for this part of our marriage because we hit a rocky patch. And somebody told him you can get a sex surrogate to help you in the marriage. Well, now this is when the sex surrogate is supposed to be on the job, supposed to help you with the touch, the communication, and the intimacy,
Right.
teaching you, the partners, how to get at each other to get back to where you were. But that's a dangerous place because it can go any which way.
Anyway.
And that's what happened in this case. After the husband found out that, you know, this man always touching my wife and he doing stuff, you know, the pang of jealousy, that's your wife. You know, no matter how much help you want no help that's going to kill you. So he decided, we're done. This is not helping. You know, when you're around, all is great. When you're not around, it's not great. So it's not helping us. Therapists say, okay, let me reach out to the wife. Who knows? What if therapy got feelings for the wife in the whole process? You don't even know what happened there. But anyway, therapy reached out to the wife and say, how is everything going since you're cut out of session? The wife said, well, things are still not great without you. So now therapy said, well, let's have a one-on-one. Your husband don't have to be a part of it.
That's what the problem is.
And in her small little tiny mind, she think that when this therapist take her to that level where she always wants sex, she will always want it from her husband. But what she didn't realize, the therapist is different from the husband.
Mm-hmm.
So the way the therapist will touch you and do stuff, if your husband didn't learn in the class what he needs to do, you'll be right back at square one.
Right.
You know, the things that your husband was doing with you that made you love each other the way you did and you were doing it every day, he been doing the same thing, but it just stopped working. So now she decided to sign a new contract with the therapist without telling the husband that she was going in for more sessions. At that point, you're a damn cheat. Okay? I don't care what you say. But anyway, she is convinced that the therapist tells her, you know, sex in marriage is the glue. So if you and your husband not getting where you need to go, that make him divorce you and go look for somebody else to meet his needs. And you don't want that. So she say she want to get back to where her husband would enjoy it and she would enjoy it. Did she know how many times our mothers never even had an orgasm, but was still making babies and still in a marriage? She got no clue. She need to be learning. But anyway, she decided she wanted to go and fix herself for the husband. Well, she had 5 sessions with the therapist.
Without the husband's knowledge.
Without the husband's knowledge. When the husband found her, he decided he's going to sue the therapist for sleeping with his wife. Excuse
Can
me?
you just imagine?
Excuse me? After you brought me in to sleep with your wife, now you're going to sue me for sleeping with your wife? Because his case is the therapist slept with the wife when he said he wanted to cancel the session. But your wife signed a new contract. And your marriage contract is with your wife, not the therapist.
Not the therapist, no.
So whatever your wife do in your marriage is between you and your wife. But he took it out of bounds that the man coerced his wife. The man manipulated his wife. And the wife was sitting there saying, yeah, he coerced me. He told me that if I don't do this, my marriage could be on the rock. And so I went along. You lie. You just wanted sex from that man. You've been enjoying it with him. So now you want to go get more. And don't go carry the man to court because your husband now bust you out. Can you imagine that? The husband find out that you were still sleeping with the therapist that he canceled. Now you now sign whole contract again for 5 sessions. You just wanted to go get some because you were loving that other end. And I'm sure the therapist must have shown the husband what to do. But that's the key point here. Everybody is different.
Different.
You all can go to the same classroom. You can learn the same lesson. Everybody going to take that test and not everybody going to make 100. Some people are going to mess up the good thing. Yeah, she was enjoying herself, Tina. I agree with that. I'm sitting here talking about this, the therapist forced her. You know?
I mean, the fact that, she would go behind her husband to sign this paper, not informing him, that's a form of cheating.
She knew what she wanted.
Yes. But then again, I would say too, that the therapist had his own agenda. Because if you are, supposedly a therapist that is supposed to be helping out, and you're going to the wife and telling her that she should not notify her husband, that should have been a red flag to the wife.
That should have been a big red flag to the wife.
Right.
But she just wanted to do what she wanted to do because therapist said not get messed up. He even know he was going to feel this way about this man's wife. And he went there saying he will do the job. Now, get messed up in the job. And finding another way to get back to that punani.
They both were enjoying themselves.
Yes.
And like you said, Revelation Hour, lust is a very strong spirit.
Yes. Yes. And that's why you can't play with things that affects that area because you don't even know how it will hit you. You don't know. You don't know. Some men can leave their wives and say, oh, I just met this girl. I'm going to just pass it for the night. And a one night stand, they leave their family and end up in that woman's house. Mm-hmm. But that was not their intention when it started. They just wanted to eat something and pass. Do you know what you're messing with? Do you know? Do you have any clue? The thing today, men still trying to figure out. Now the one you will fix overnight, you don't know. You don't know what can come off it. Stay clear. No, we will not stay clear. We need a therapist. Of all the therapists in your lifetime, that the only therapist you won't go get. The thing why you never face, now here coming for you. But then look at the part with the boy, the disabled boy, who needed the therapist. And that therapist, this job is dangerous. I'm telling you.
It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
So can you imagine somebody who didn't know that during sexual intercourse, they like to be hit for them to have an orgasm? What if that boy Tick was going to pull that out of the therapist? Can you imagine what happened to the therapist? Therapist might even quit their job and find a lover.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
I know.
You don't know. God is awesome. And when he did this, he said, please wait. until you are married to experience this. Because the depth and the width of sex is multi-layered dimension that you cannot explain or
It
understand.
is. And most people just look at the physical aspect.
Yeah,
They don't take into consideration the spiritual aspect of it.
no.
And that's one of the biggest parts.
Ah, that's the biggest
You
part.
have to make sure, because you don't know what soul ties that man's background or that woman's background is from, that you are combining with. You don't know what demons he or she is carrying.
Yes. But the people just play with fire and act as if it is okay. You know? Okay,
It's
so
scary.
somebody who have had sexual trauma, they say, sex surrogate will work for them. Okay? So now, what are they doing for me that I did not experience in the situation that got me to the trauma? What are they doing that didn't? So they're gonna first mess up my mind to turn it from what makes me disengage from sex. Because if the battle is won in your mind, the body will follow.
Yes.
But don't forget, you got to connect the spirit in. So you go to this session because you want to get back into intimacy in your life, but you don't know how because of what you have experienced as a trauma. So now you bring a therapist in to help you. You don't even know how the therapist gonna feel about you. You don't even know how you gonna feel about the therapist. You don't even know whether the therapist will even exaggerate the situation that you looking for help from. You know nothing. But you say, I'm gonna go in with an open mind so I can get help. Okay. If you look at it as a medical situation, good for you. But it doesn't change the fact that it will affect you spiritually, physically, and emotionally. It doesn't change none of that. So whatever your mindset is going into the program doesn't change the facts of what it is. Tina say, oh, I like this. STDs is what you are exchanging, sexually
Sexually
transmitted
transmitted
demons.
demons, which is true.
It's true.
So
It
true.
is really, really true.
Look,
It is really, really
I'm
true.
looking at just the physical aspect, okay?
Mm.
Sexual exposure chart. If you slept with only one person, then yes, you've exposed yourself to one person. If you have slept with two people, you've exposed yourself to three different people. Three people is seven different partners. If you've slept with four people, that means you've slept with 15 people. If you've slept with five
Pastor,
different men in your life, that means you've slept with 31 different men.
but you're going far. If you slept with one person and that one person slept with 20 people before they got to you, you know how many people you're not sleeping with already?
Exactly. We're assuming that you slept with one and the person slept with one,
Yeah. What are the odds?
which is very slim. So can you imagine if you slept with just four people, you've slept with 15, you've exposed yourself to 15 different people. Do the math.
Do the math. And because a sex therapist, so he gave one demons. You lie. You
Look, if
lie.
you have slept with 10 different people in your lifetime, you've exposed yourself to 1,023 different people.
And the
10.
demons.
10 people is equivalent to 1,023. That's the
Yeah, I
chart.
know some
It
people
doesn't
right
lie.
now watching this show doing their math. They're like,
Yes.
shit, I don't messed up. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we have to be very careful.
And you know the sad thing about it, they say sex therapy can be good for listening to the facts they are listening. For somebody who's rebuilding trust in physical, emotional intimacy. All right, I don't understand. Because if you building physical and emotional intimacy, the sex therapy is not for you to go build it with.
No.
But that's whom you choose to go and build it with. So when you have gotten connected now, you're okay with him. How will you go to the next person to go do the job?
And the thing is, this therapist, this is his or her job.
Yeah.
So you're not the only client.
You're not the only client. He doesn't even consider you as anything but the job, a client.
Yes.
And there you there now go catch feelings for your boss. They're not even your boss, for your, because you paying them. So then your work, I don't even know what they are to you anymore.
What, your therapist?
But you go catch feeling for the therapist. Can you imagine that? The therapist go to work, you all in the bush hiding to see which client he going to. What does that? You say you mess your life up? You see how you mess your life up? Because the things the therapist doing to you now take you out of your own body and put you in a whole different realm, and you can't even comprehend it right now. You mess up.
Yeah.
You're physically, emotionally, every way mess up. But you want to get help.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get help. Look, stop playing with fire. Stop playing with fire.
Yes.
I know in the advanced world, everything has to have a name in order for us to understand it, so we think. But I can tell you right now, sex, you lack understanding. Humans as a whole, you lack the understanding. It's beyond you. It's beyond all the learning you have learned, because that portion was God in his infinite carnation.
Yeah.
For man, for his sole purpose. And you think you're going to understand it?
And people take it so lightly, you know. People they take it so lightly. Anybody, you know, I work in public health as a practitioner. My very first job was in public health, and I tell you what, it opened my eyes, because I mean I did so many STD tests that it was, but you would get young children coming, young men coming dripping like a faucet, because they've slept with this person. And because I'm public health, so I have to ask you for the person's name. You're infected. We have to call this person to get them treated as well.
Yep.
You call them and ask them, oh, I don't know her name. She was passing by. And I mean, it was a norm.
Can you imagine that?
It was a norm. Yes. They don't know the person's name, have no information, just a passerby, and hey. And now you're coming to me. I have to treat you because you're dripping like a faucet. You're infected. And now this lady is infected. We don't know who infected whom. So she's gone. Who knows how many other people she's going to, encounter with. But we don't have her information to do our public health.
Yes.
And the younger kids nowadays, they don't think about the ramification. Even adults. Sorry to say.
Even adults.
It won't happen to me. Yes, it will.
Games.
It just takes that one time and that one person.
Yeah. The things that should scare us about sex, but we don't think about it like that. Look at the whole human body and look at that organ where it's placed. And look at the power of that organ.
Yes.
No matter how big, fat, heavy, overweight a person can be, the organ is still positioned at the same spot.
True. Yeah.
It doesn't even matter how muscular you are. That organ will still be what it is, where it's at. And sometimes you see some women, you see the backside, you go, whoo-wee. The organ still work the magic there. Isn't that something to scare you? Isn't that something to scare you and say, what? What kind of thing is this? The whole human body, they think got a little slit in the face. and the man has hair, it has a little slit in the face. But only when they get together, they do the magic. Shouldn't that scare you to not play with it? Because you don't understand it. You think you do, but you don't.
And don't just give it to anybody. Don't just, I mean, it's mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. This thing can allow a whole baby to come out, and it just adjusts itself back to the way it was before the baby come. Isn't that something to scare you? But no, let's play with it. Let's make it a fun spot because it's created for our pleasure. Who told you that lie? In a very particular situation, that's when you're supposed to enjoy that very pleasure. But no, it's too cheap and too common. Even the place is supposed to be validated at, it doesn't hold the validation anymore.
Yeah.
Because every and anybody is in.
And have
No.
open access. Yes.
I wouldn't even say is think they are enjoying the pleasure for that. But what they don't realize is a whole different demarcation. And when you step into it, you can't unstep into it.
So true. Yes.
You touch it, you touch it. Case closed. No if, no end, no but, no I made
going
mistake.
back. Yes.
I wouldn't, I shouldn't. You touch it, you touch it. And you no fear. No fear. When to me, when the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, sex is that fear of God. Sex is that fear of God that gives you wisdom. Because for what it is, what it does, when it do it, that you cannot comprehend it, never know how it's going to treat you, but you're willing to step into it, that is just too deep. That is just too deep. And can you imagine how mighty a man can be? That thing can bring him down.
It can make you or break you. Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Doesn't matter how mighty a woman can be. That thing can make you or break you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why humans, we got no common sense. We go and we see the fire blazing hot. We're like, that's where I want to play. I want to play in the fire. But we don't want to go to hell. What's the difference? You're playing with fire already. And you think your master playing with the fire. Why don't you just go to hell and deal with it there? All the things the Bible put in check line to scare us. Physical, put in check line to scare us. We don't fear.
We don't fear. Mm-mm.
We don't fear. We just want to play in this place that we got no business playing. Talking about I'm a sex surrogate.
And I tell you, they charge. I was doing the research.
Oh yeah,
$200 an hour.
$200 to $300 per hour for a session. A session that lasts for 3 seconds. But by the time the therapist finishes doing what the therapist is supposed to do, you're supposed to down reach the place you're supposed to don't reach before even you become intimate. If the person know what they're doing, they take you there.
Because the thing is, with that, once you get at this whatever peak it is, you will want to go more. You want to get more, and it's never ending.
The funny thing that people don't understand about the whole, I said we know nothing about sex. We think we do. But the sex is really just there for ejaculation purpose. For the man to ejaculate into the woman, for her to release that egg and the meat and procreation take place. But in the process, before you get there, the woman's body have to be ready. Some people come 2, 3, 4, 5 times before you even make the penetration, if you know what you're doing. Because it's supposed to last seconds. genuinely supposed to last second. So when y'all have gotten together, like your shoe get together, both of y'all is at the height of it all. And once you're mate, it happens. And you're so satisfied because you've been there, come back 300 times before you even hit it off. But it don't just happen like that. That's why you have to wait for the person who's supposed to do this with you to do it the way it's supposed to be done. But when you now have 3 million, you like, I can't hear, and you still got to go. Go where? Do what?
Mm-hmm.
Why you reach there yet? Because you don't been around the block, and your body, if the person don't know what they're doing, you on your own, you can get to where you need to reach.
So true. Yeah.
Because that person don't. Oh Jesus,
This
is too deep. You need to leave sex alone.
It's deep, yes.
Because you don't understand it, you don't know about it. You just leave it alone. If you're not married to go into it with the right reasons, just leave it. Just leave it. People have lost their life. People have lost themselves beyond this thing. And still you understand it yet. But some people getting paid because it's a job. So let's go to the wages. So some surrogate therapy program involves structured multi-week session or full treatment plan. Can you imagine it? They're calling it treatment. A full treatment plan that can cost $5,000 to $10,000 for an extended process, 8 to 12 weeks of therapy. So my only thing is when the therapy has given you this therapy and your body has returned, who continues to fix this the way he fixed it? Or she fixed it? Who?
That's the question.
Who? So they're supposed to do it with both the partner. So whatever he's doing, the other party is supposed to be learning. But this is never going to be a reality because we are individually different. The palm of my hand will feel different from anybody else's palm of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I move my finger, my mind connects to my hand. So what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is how my hand gonna move. Somebody can take that same hand of theirs and move it, ain't gonna feel the way my hand felt because they're thinking and they're doing. Even though we both went to the same class. So how the heck somebody else supposed to fix somebody else's problem? And then what you're supposed to now leave the therapy and go be ready for the world because the therapist say you're okay now. Then you get to the session with a new person, and now you have to tell them, touch me here, do this here. By the time you finish putting that person through the class, maybe you will not even reach your orgasm because mentally you're on a different level. You're not at the same level when the therapist was with you.
Right.
All these things, they don't think about it. They just head first, go in, dive.
Doing a quick fix, yeah.
Touching things you got no business touching. So, some of the factors that can affect the payment for the therapist. If you live in Los Angeles or New York, your rate is higher. Can you imagine that?
Well, Los Angeles has the International Professional Surrogate
Headquarter.
Association in Los Angeles. So I can see why it's expensive.
We're going to conference this week. And what happens at the conference?
Everybody mingling.
Mingling.
I think that's why this chart of 10 people to 1,023 exposure, it comes into play really quickly.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Look, these people play with fire and they don't even have no idea. Then they say, experience and certification, those trained through the International Professional Surrogate Association or similar organization often command higher rates. Collaboration with therapists. If working under a sex therapist, the pay may be structured as a referral based on fixed contract model. What kind of trouble is this? What kind of trouble is this? Humans, look, stop playing with what you don't know and you don't understand. That's all my own I can say about this. This thing is too deep, too wide
Too deep.
to play with. It that what the old man hit it where he hit it. But no, you want to go underneath to find it. It's hidden from you. It's not one of the things that just come out soon you see a person. No. Even the women who get naked to show it, it will not show. You got to bend down to see it. That's how much they wanted to hide it. Because it's deep. It's deep. It affects everything about you. Everything about you.
Everything, yes.
Not one aspect is hidden from it. Everything. Everything that make you you can be affected from just the encounter with that thing. But you decide, let me play with it. Let me go do some research on it. Research on it? Your hair will be there. Your hair will be there. The boy made his son, he said, this was supposed to be a one night stand. But now I can't help myself. I'm even jealous when the woman go to work to go do her work. Because you went there once. You don't know. You don't know how this will affect you. Please be careful.
Please, yes.
To married couples, if you're having problem in your marriage and sexually you're not connecting, you got to go back to the basics. Remember, who is the third cord in your marriage? If you have never invited him to be the cord in your marriage to hold you together, you better go get him now, talk to him, and let him get in the middle and keep you together. Don't go look for more trouble for y'all by bringing another human in the picture. The one human you got ain't doing the job. Now you want to go bring the second human.
Big disaster.
That's messy. That's a big mess. The thing that made you to see each other and started being this way, you'll go back to the basics. If y'all have to start dating each other again, you'll start dating each other. Sometimes in life, the things that's not yours that you want to get create a different kind of excitement. So treat your partner like it's brand new again. Start dating them. Start getting to know them again. Because you don't even know your partner. People can be with people 50, 60 years. They still don't know them. Nevertheless, trying to see if you can accomplish all their sexual needs. You can't. You can't. Because the person who you're going to don't even know that you were found. It's an adventure for you throughout your marriage to be finding new zones on yourselves, working together. If the old zone not working, you'll go find new zone. You'll do new things. You'll spy new things.
You'll do it together and not inviting a third party to come.
Yeah. Sex is not all about penetration. No. There is touch. Touch that somebody don't have to penetrate you can make you have an orgasm. And enjoy that same sexual feelings. Especially if you're not trying to go at it because of the reproduction part of it. Maybe you're not have all your children and you're not trying to make children anymore.
And sometimes like you said, that's a great point you just pointed out, because just the stress of thinking, about the reproductive part and it is not happening can put a strain.
Yes. It puts a strain. Because just to think about some people who all their family members already beyond there. When you're going to get pregnant? When you're going to have a baby? When you're going to get pregnant? When you're going to have a baby? And now you're just in the motion to make the baby. You're not even connecting anymore. Right now, it's physical. No emotion being there again. We just got to do this thing here and make it happy. And you think by doing it 3, 4, 5 times a day makes it happy? No. Maybe the count will go down because You just pumping on now, and you're not even reaching the volume that you need to make the people work. You're not even eating like you should to make the people strong to go run the race. All those things come. Look, sex is deep. Wash yourself.
Very deep. Yeah.
It's very, very deep. Wash yourself. Depending on what your plan is for it, you got to understand, okay, if we're doing it to accomplish this, what else can we do to make it nicer, sweeter, and this? But if you're just going there for what God created it for, it's 2 seconds. Ejaculation, get to that egg, and go do the job. We make our children, and now we're ready to explore ourselves sexually. Because you ain't even touched the woman yet. You don't even find a hidden germ that is there. You don't even know. But every day you're supposed to be working on this. That's why it's called marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage. Every day you're supposed to work on different things. Not pam, pam, pam. No, it's not always about that. It's not always about that. Physically, sometimes you don't even have the strength for the pam, 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 pam. But the way you hold the person, the way you talk to them, the things you say to them, they be way wet and messed up before you even think sex.
Yeah.
But a lot of time we miss the mark because we do not understand it. And we just, he not come 3 times, can you? How many times you want to come? Today, how many you want? So they will ask you, and then you will say, I want 20. Then they find a way to give you 20.
Can you handle 20?
What you need 20 for? Your body is
that realistic?
exhausted. You know, it's sad. Some women have never even experienced orgasm before. They don't know what it is.
Lots of women.
Lots of women.
Lots of women. You know, they're either afraid to say or they don't even know.
They don't even know they're supposed to get there when they go there. They don't know what's in there for them. They just know me and my man were together. So did you enjoy it? They will tell you yes, but they even know what is the enjoyment. The dead therapist can put finger on that. Now you know who enjoy it or who not enjoy it. Because now the places maybe the husband never got to, the therapist gonna reach there, and there you go, messed up the whole marriage that you're supposed to be fixing. Because you're touching things, you're going places, you're doing things that nobody's supposed to do with you in your marriage. Couples, you need to be open-minded. This is not a shame matter. This is too deep and nobody knows it. Not one person. Even the sex surrogates and the sex therapists, they don't know a damn thing about sex. They think they do, but they don't. They think they do, but they don't. This is all in the mind of the creator. And until he come and explain this stuff, whatever you think you know, you're wasting your time because somebody will blow your theory out of the waters. And it won't make no sense. It won't add up again. Even though it happened, doesn't necessarily mean it cannot happen. We're talking about the things that is and no if, no and no but. You don't know half of them. But you assume you are because you touch one girl, just looking at her, the way you look at her, she just came on herself. You think you're the demigod for sex. That's just one woman. And probably she was already into you. So you don't even have to touch her to make her come. You just have to look at her and she'll come for you. It happens. Some people, they say, oh, that's my fetish. My fingernail, my toenail, my foot, my hair, my this, my that. Simple things. Takes other people to different realms. But some people think you need to go pound the horse to make it happen. No, it doesn't work like that. That's why you and your partner need to talk. Sex is not all about physical. Emotion is very, very, very high, especially with females.
Yes, it is.
You got to mess up our mind to get us to get to an orgasm when you come physically.
When you come and start banging, it starts from early that morning.
You do no emotional nonsense and you come in and do physical
the environment. You have to set the tone. You have to set the mood. And that's mostly for the men. They need to learn this. We women, we are emotional beings.
Yes. Very, very emotional.
So you have to set it up from in the morning. Send us messages. Be in tune
Get us
with
in
your partner.
tune. Get us in tune with what's coming
Yes.
down the pipeline.
Make me anticipate to come home.
Yes. I will do this to you. And when I do this, just telling me what you will do to me and why it will happen, that me will figure the rest for you. Don't worry. I got you. You just told me, now me take your thought, and I fill myself with it. I'm more than ready. Before you come start not drip, I just ready. Because the things you said to me,
Exactly.
emotionally, you already knocked me off my feet.
And when you do that, you don't need a surrogate. You don't need it.
You need a surrogate. You're not even talking to your woman. We tire. I come from where you lay down on the couch, but you will put TV on to listen to nonsense from Donald Trump. But you can't talk to your woman to get your work easy before you go there physically. Because for the man, once the friction happens, he's supposed to do his job.
That's it.
But that's why you do your job long before you do your job. So that your job is so easy. When you think that she's so ready, she even know what to do herself. You can even kiss her, she will start coming for you. Because you already planted a seed for her. You got her messed up mentally. She do the work. You just need to go there now and just take your high five and keep stepping. And you can't convince her otherwise that you're not the best. But when you go meet water police, when I get no better plan, she will tell you say that 1 second beneath you can't for, and to you the champion to your own house. Can you imagine? That's the difference. So you got to be careful. You don't understand this, quit playing with it. Quit playing with it. Just ask God to help you get a strength to start the communication with your partner.
That's it.
Just to start the communication with your partner. That's the one you must pray for. Because from the communication, all other things will fall into place. Just start the talking. Today you and I share about why you think the snake went to Eve and didn't go to Adam.
That's another topic for another day.
I know it's already 7 o'clock. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Because if you hear my analogy on that whole situation, I think you're just gonna pass up, But if you're watching and right now you think you're going through a rough patch with your partner, rethink it.
And
maybe you need to go back to the basics.
Yes.
Maybe you need to start talking about it before it happens. Maybe you need to start understanding your partner's body. Ask them, when I touch you here, how it make you feel? You will be touching until you hit the spot. She'll be like, oh, the one here nice, oh, I like it, it's good. Now you know one spot because she got 3 million, or say even know it. 2 of you are now going to adventure to find the places. That's fun for the relationship. That's adventure for the relationship. That's physical workout for the relationship to give it strength. So please, there's a lot to be done in your marriages other than looking for a sex surrogate. The things your mind tell you is what will mess you up. If your mind tell you that your body can't connect because you went through some trauma some years ago and somebody got to come to make it work, that's a lie. Because if that is really true, your body would never get up for nobody. I don't care what kind of sex therapy he is. It will not get up. But that's a lie. You told yourself what you told yourself that got you to where you are. You need to change your mindset. That's why the Bible make it very clear. Renew your mind. Renew your mind. If you get worried that you are at the age where you're supposed to get married and you're scared that physically you may not get involved like you should, go back to the very Bible that put the very thing there to make it happen. Go back to the Word of God. It will change your mind. Reprogram that mindset. And you'll be shocked and surprised how your body will respond to the right person when they come. There is nothing impossible with God.
Nothing at all.
Anything you choose to believe outside of God is vanity. and it's the workings of man, and it leads you nowhere but into sin and destruction. So please be careful. If you're listening today, please be careful. Don't play with things you cannot finish or you don't understand. A hint to a wise,
It's quite sufficient.
wise sufficient. It doesn't matter what you're going through.
Oh, what you have been through.
Thank God,
It is
it is
fabulous.
fabulous.
We
So
want to
that
thank
was,
you for being on.
yep,
Please share the video.
yep,
Next week we will not be on because our community is mourning,
yeah,
and as respect to the community, whenever there's a huge program going on or whenever there's bereavement in the community, we try to honor that and respect that by not airing on that Friday. I believe Friday is the wake for our sister. Our condolences to the family and to the community.
yep,
And so we want to thank you all for coming on. Thanks for the comments.
yep. Thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you for participating. And we always say if there's a topic out there that you are interested in, you want to hear more about it from other people's perspective, let us know. We'll do our research, we'll do the work, and we'll come here and we'll bring to you things that other people can learn from. Because I'm telling you, I never heard of a sex surrogate before I heard of a sex surrogate.
This was my first one. You told me. I mean, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it blew me.
I had to go and do some research.
Yeah.
But then again, just to reiterate, next week Friday is Valentine's Day. This is
Yes.
Black History Month and Love Us Month. So we will not be airing that next Friday, but on the 21st we will be back, and I believe we will be dissecting the book of Genesis chapter 3, and
Yep.
maybe try to tie in Revelation chapter 12, verse 1 to 17 as well.
Yep.
So
So be
please join
blessed.
us 2 Fridays
Thank
from
you.
now.
Yep. And we look forward to having another good event with you on the 21st.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Be safe. Good night.